after all these steps repeatedly things are failing, you have a bad institution. When you have an institution where by and large things get corrected, if not in step 1, step 2, step 3, you have a good institution. Okay, you're not going to get an institution which is run essentially by volunteerism, except for the core function, which is the research and to some extent teaching. Because even teaching is, we are not, when we recruit people, we don't check for their teaching ability. Okay, little bit we do by looking at the seminar, but that's not, we look at the research a bit. Now, everything else, it will depend only on this kind of feedback mechanism. We cannot say let's recruit good wardens, let's recruit good people who can run the hostel administration. Okay, because why? In our setup, I cannot hire a professional qualified in that. Okay, because the kind of people I can get within the publicly run institution setup will not be good. First of all, why would faculty ever get into this, you tell me? You tell me, why would a faculty member ever willingly get into becoming a warden or a chairman CCW? I can tell you, when we select these people, we have to literally coax them. Okay, or a JE chairman, or a chairman, dean of students, or a dean of anything. Why would anybody get into it? Nobody will want to. People are quite happy doing their research and managing their, publishing their papers. They get into it because finally some people feel, okay, let me do something, let me try to help. They will make mistakes. We have to set up a redressal mechanism. We cannot hire professionally qualified people who can run wardens, professionally qualified, because if I try to do that in the public setup, I'll get certain kind of people, so we put faculty back there. Okay, why in this institute, why in the IIT system alone, everything is run by faculty? You go to any other institution, these will all be run by administrative staff and you can't go to anybody. There will be one. No, I'll tell you, it's the reality, because in this setup, I cannot, it's not that I'm running a private institution. I run a private institution, I'll hire a fellow who, of course, private institutions are running differently, they're running dictatorially, but if I'm a well-run private institution, I'll hire a fellow who's qualified to manage 8,000 people and knows how to do it right, who has taken training in that and so on. In this system, they'll ask me to call that person a chief administrative officer and put the qualifications and put the roster system and say who has to be recruited and how it has to be recruited. That is the reality. I can't change those rules. As I told you, those rules are given as primary conditions for me. How we can recruit people, what we can pay them, and what we can do, that is primary. Why IIT system, everything faculty are doing? Well, because there is no other way we can ensure even this quality, let me assure you. Now, the redressal mechanism is what we put in. If you don't understand this, otherwise, why will faculty get into all this?
So why we doing everything for the good of others?
What is others?
I mean, we take people around institute for their,
No, this is a public institution, the recruitment rules are all set. You please change them. I mean, the government of India functions in certain ways. There is a roster system, there is reservation, there is not, I'm not blaming reservation for anything, I'm just saying there is a way of doing things. We have to advertise, whoever does well in the advertisement, everything is under RTI. Every scrap of paper I write in the interview file is in the RTI. That is the way the government of India functions. We're not aware of it, ma'am, please go and take civics class.
Some of us wanted to ask Professor LSG some further 11 p.m. timeline. We have some concerns about 3 issues. The first one being, you said that as adults we need to acknowledge the risk that we are taking if we are outside. So, any risk, yeah. While acknowledging this, all these risks, do we have to involve our parents in some way in this acknowledgement? A. B is when we have to mention that, okay, we'll be, for example, outdoors after 11 p.m. We have to state reasons for this. And the third one is this issue about the letter from HOD or the department or the faculty about, we are staying out for academic purpose or purpose of research and all. So could you please let us know clarifications on these three issues?
Okay. This point has to be discussed. The principle of the declaration is where we are. The point of what the details are, what the conditions A, B, C, D are, we have to discuss and finalize. Okay, this is where we are. It is not yet an operational rule.
The parents, let me explain to you, it's not clear because we are having a situation now where we are at a state in our social development where students are, the youngsters are expecting something, the parents are expecting something else. We have to get clarity between the two, what they want us to do. Okay. We can't have a situation where the parent is saying that I expect you to be answerable to me about about something about the whereabouts of the person, and the student comes and says, I don't expect you to tell my parents anything. Okay, I want some clarity from the two. You decide and tell us. No, I can't obviously run this on a case by case basis, 8,000 choices in an Excel sheet, and I can't do it that way. We have to have some decision on how we are going to do this, right? I mean, there's no way I can look at individual choices. This person has said parents should be told, that person has said parents should not be told. I can't do that. But we have to have some agreement to this. I mean, let me tell you, since you people are hitting so hard, let me also tell you, this didn't happen in this case, but it happened last year, when an unfortunate person took his life, unfortunately took his life. The father walked in and said, I sent you a strapping young boy, you have given me back a dead body. Told the director that. We take it on the chin, because you can't retaliate on the father like that. This is exactly what he said. He said, sir, not sir, he said, I sent you a strapping young boy, you have given me back a dead body. You have given me back. Okay, and of course we say poor man is in distress, you take it. Take it on the chin. This didn't happen this time. Please don't. This time the father was unbelievably refined. But I'm just saying this can happen. Because poor man is, everything is shattered. Okay. Please understand the expectations are like that. It's very easy to read the law to the person. There are all kinds of parents, there are all kinds of youngsters. Not all of you are asking. Now there are some, I'm telling you, there are women in the women's hostel who are expecting very different kind of level of security from us. Very different level of intervention from us. There are all kinds. I get emails from people here, outside campus, everything. All kinds of views are expressed. There are personal views, it's okay. We have to take a decision on how we handle what is our responsibility. It's easy, it's very cynical to read the law. Saying you're 18, I don't know anything. I can't do that. Because that's very cynical. I have to, I feel responsible to the parent and to you and to everybody. If I'm willing to spend 4 hours talking to you, I must be willing to spend 4 hours talking to your father or your mother. I have to answer. Otherwise, I'm just running away. I'm copying out. Who's the word copying out? I'll be copying out. Right? I can't do that. So we have to deal with it. Now, I don't want. It's very easy also to get caught in a quagmire and say, oh, we want all these declarations 100. We don't want to do that. Keep it simple. Maybe the declaration will never happen because we may realize very soon after discussion that it's getting messy. But that shows the problem we are dealing with. More and more, I am getting calls. It's, I don't know why, but somehow. Professor Anant used to say his wife should tell him that you're not the director but the directory. I get calls all the time on my cell phone of this kind. JE rank, where to send the application. Starts from there all the way to where's my child now. Okay. I keep telling myself I cannot get angry. Okay. Maybe every other number they tried in the institute nobody answered. Because that's very typical in a government institution. So let me at least tell the person whom to call. Okay. This is the reality. So we have to deal with all of these. We have to deal with all kinds. We have parents who are from a rural area. We have parents who have never seen an IIT. We have parents who are ultra sophisticated. Last year, one parent asked the director, if my daughter is doing or son is doing whatever he or she is doing, what's your problem? Right? In other words, willing to take full responsibility. We have all this. We can't. There's no way. It's not a service provision where each person's needs can be taken care of. We have to form some kind of rules, and our aim has always been to have minimum rules. You can see that. We are taking many risks. If you talk to Kodalpuram inspector, he will say, sir, I don't know what you are doing. Very risky. You don't seem to know this, you don't seem to know that. Okay, extremely risky. This is not the way Anna University does, this is not the way Satyabama University functions. They all know exactly where their people are, what they are doing. We manage because things have worked. 50 years it has worked, we know it will work. But also the responses have to change. Parents in my time used to implicitly, very large number, used to implicitly assume that the teacher is right, that the professor is right. That is the philosophy of those days. If I went to my dad and complained, he would say, don't tell me anything. Even if I know there are teachers who are bad, but don't tell me about it. Because I will not tolerate. I will not, right? I will not, just don't tell me about it. Today the parents come back and sometimes fight with us. Things have changed also. Some parents do, some parents don't. We have to deal with all of this. We are willing to. Those who have volunteered for this, the first requirement for somebody to become a warden is that he or she must be willing to put themselves on the chopping block. Beyond that, we try to see all these other things that you mentioned. But there will be people who have, there are people, they are also a product of their upbringing, of their milieu, where they came from. There are faculty who have come from villages and they have a different, I'll tell you. I got a mail, you got it, right? I also got a copy. 23.7 tons of food was wasted last month. What was so-called food? right? Whatever it is, right? But food nevertheless. Now, it affects different people different ways. Genuinely, some people who think of their people in their village or some place get affected very badly. Some people say this is not eatable food anyway, it doesn't matter. You get all kinds of responses. All these are genuine responses, right? These are the people who are dealing with it. We have to take them down. But finally, keep coming back to this. All of us have to be willing to go through the redressal mechanism, be patient, and correct it. Don't take it lying down for 9 months or 10 months. Keep at it, right? But if you say, I don't want the pain of this, I want everything to run perfectly, I'm telling you, the thing that we are trying to run perfectly with very little problem is the core function, which is the research part and the supervision, so on. Even teaching, we are trying to, but teaching is, we don't ensure both of these things. Okay, we first give priority to the knowledge of the subject, then we give priority to the teaching ability. Everything else, because it has run somehow over 50 years, we assume it will continue to run. Maybe it won't. But all these wardens and sports and deans, I don't know anything about administration. I have never taken a course. I have never gone to administer like the IAS officers. Suddenly one day Professor Anand called me and said, become a dean. I became a dean. I don't know whether it should have been done that way or not. But that's the way it is. Okay, and that's the way it has been. And why do we do that? Let me tell you. We have seen very clearly that if faculty don't handle these things, we have more trouble. Okay.
So, Mark asking from my side. So, don't you think that somewhere the redressal mechanism needs to be restructured? Because out of five cases which have come right now, especially related to hospital, every case has to go to you. So basically, you can ask them, is there any issue which they personally, which have been sorted at a level below it?
Let me tell you,
Bhaskar, one sec, Bhaskar, please.
Before you do that, it's obviously that the people who have come here, this is self-selected. Okay? Obviously, if you come here, there are only 400 of you. We have two copies self-selected, meaning the people. Out of you, 100 may have come just out of concern, philosophical concern. Others are people who have festering problems. Obviously, there are many others whose problems have been addressed. So it's not true. This is self-selected. This is like, right? Conditional on, only then you will come at 10:45 at night. Okay, and discuss it.
Okay.
There is redressal, but we can improve redressal. I am not saying no. Because all these are systems that have been set up by intuition, not by some MBA. I don't know if they can follow it, but anyway, we'll redress it. You write the suggestions and send it.
And one request from all the girls' side, whenever the declaration structure is being made
I don't know if that's
finalized, if at all, then all the girls, they want that finally their opinion be also taken before making it.
absolutely. Thou shalt not sign it. I have not read it for a long time. I haven't seen it in I was too busy with student. Right? It's not good.
So can you address
He has his weaknesses that I have not.
Sir, can you address the three questions that
Yeah. What was
that
this
were
to?
asked, Krishna,
Who asked me?
about the involvement of parents and whether we should be? I know that it's not being.
No, that has to be discussed. I told you it's only a. Please understand. I have a feeling you are perhaps expecting answers right here, right now. I am only telling you this is an idea which is at the top of our mind. Are you understanding? We will discuss it threadbare. We will involve the students. We will go through SAT. We will go through the board of students, hostel management, and then we will come to the decision.
What will
Okay?
be done about the fears that we expressed about plainclothes security?
I'll talk about that. See, because, one second, there are some things which we can resolve within the given time. There are some things I will spend, you want the whole night, I'll sit with you and discuss about specific matters. Okay? I will do that, I commit on it.
There are some things about which the director doesn't know, because the board director has been there only for 6 months. And there are some things that have been done before that. It's possible and some things I'm not aware of. Okay. So, though I have been dean and I've been in dean committee for 6 years, I never knew we had plain clothes of any kind in this campus. Now, I'm telling you honestly, I didn't know about it. If it is there, I'll find out tomorrow, because it's news to me.
I think you have to admire that frankness from a director, please. Where he says, I didn't know. Can anybody says, I know?
It's entirely possible because
Come on.
the decision taken even before, and maybe Professor Anand knew about it. I'm wondering whether he also knew about it. It might have been done in some context. It may be okay in some context. It may have grown into something which it should not be. I mean, look, these people who are coming as we might have been taken at a time when we did not have contract security. There are so many issues. You can look at that. Some of these things sometimes become problematic because of other changes that have not been taken cognizance of. We take cognizance. No problem.
One second, sir. Before you start, I think we had too many people speaking even before I wanted, and I said, okay. Pallavi specifically, out of all the issues that we have discussed about redressal, only the Kaveri issue came to me. Please note this. The Tapti hostel thing and my statement of wardens having certain rights was made in a totally different context when no complaint was made. So please be very careful when you're making statements. No complaint so far has come to me about the Tapti warden. The only complaint that has come is about the Kaveri issue. And let me tell you something, please, I've talked to the warden, I've talked to the chairman has been in some meetings. The warden has given me reasons which I cannot quote here. That's all I can tell. The boy is wrong, the warden is right. There are some things you must understand, the administration. The redressal does not mean acceptance of the what do you call, the complainant's expectations and desires. Absolutely wrong principle. Redressal means go through a process of reasoning, some value systems, acceptable or otherwise, and come to a decision. Okay? I'm sorry, my dear friend, whoever you are, if only you know what has happened, why the gate was closed, and why something else was decided about parents, it's very easy to say, prove that your parents and people will laugh. You go to a police station, you will have to prove your parents. Please be clear about what you're talking about. Okay?
Regarding closing of gate,
Sir, Vikram,
I'm supporting this.
I know, Vikram, leave it, Vikram. It's better that certain things are not spoken of openly. My dear friend, please don't think everything can be spoken openly. Somewhere you have to trust people like me. Say you don't trust me, that's a different problem. I have many things to do. I hope you are very clear. I am being firm on this. I've talked to the warden has explained what the situation is, and I think he's dead right. Absolutely right.
There are a lot of steps in Krishna's to leave
Leave it, Vikram.
second gate.
No, we can. I'm used to late night.
So the redressal mechanism is there. The redressal mechanism for students, please write down your notes. The redressal mechanism is, if you have a problem with respect to hostel life, the first person you can send the complaint to is the concerned secretary. If it's a garden problem, go to the garden secretary. If it's a maintenance problem, go to the general secretary of the board. If it's a food problem, talk to the mess secretary. If it's a problem of musical instruments, talk to the cultural secretary. If it's a problem with respect to sports equipment, talk to the sports secretary. Now there is a level at which it goes orally. There is a level beyond which it has to be written. Please understand the difference between a complaint that's made orally and a complaint that's made in writing. Complaints that are made in writing shall receive written responses. Complaints that are made orally, like in Kaveri, shall receive oral responses. If the students want to know, I am willing to discuss with them here, outside, but not in public. I hope you understand this. And Pallavi, please, none of the other complaints have come to me, Pallavi. So it's not fair to say that the redressal mechanism is not working. Absolutely unfair. Okay, I've said what I want.
You want to say something? Yeah, I think she wants to ask something. Yeah.
Yes, sir. From 2008 to 2012, I am seeing some policy changes which has been affecting the security issues in the campus. In 2008, when I was here, there was not many cases of harassment or problems here actually. But by 2012, all these years when number of security was reduced, this problem has come up.
Number of security has not been reduced.
It has been reduced. In 2008, during pandemic, during that process, I have been seeing
Yeah,
more
ground,
number of
ground
securities.
security. Oh, I mean the institute security, non-contract security.
Even the contract security, number of people has been reduced.
No,
So
it's not been
I
reduced.
can tell you, sir, which all points has been reduced, I can tell you. Which all lanes people has been removed, I can tell you.
I'll find out. As far as I know, our problem has been that our institute ground security will go down, because that is no way. The government is now has a 1.1 1 faculty member, 1.1 non-faculty member ratio. Okay, it is now binding, so everything else has to be outsourced.
Not the permanent security, contract
No,
security.
contract security, I don't think has been reduced. I can discuss with you. You please send it to me. I'll look up the numbers. I know how much we are paying. No? I know how many people.
Simple thing is there were boxes kept for them to stay. None of the boxes are existing. None of the security points are existing. People were very happy.
We'll find out where they have been put now. The total number, I don't think has been reduced. Where they have been deployed may have changed. The security, again, the security officer and the security apparatus will take their decision. Sometimes they come to us and we say, okay, don't put them here, put them there. Sometimes they took it on their own. But let me tell you that since I've been in the Dean's Committee for 6 years, the incidents of our judgment is that the incidents of sexual harassment or other kinds of harassment, usually sexual harassment, right? Thefts I don't think has increased, it's the same. Sexual harassment I don't think has increased so much as more are being reported. Okay, and that more are being reported. Earlier people used to be afraid of reporting, right? More are being reported. Probably it's possible there is a little bit more than before, I don't know, but more are being reported. Okay.
One case which I heard of was near OIT area. There were security provided, there are no people. Instead, there are institutes.
So you write to me. I mean, it's possible. See, I'm not saying that some lapses may not have occurred in the way the planning.
I'm citing an example, sir.
It is not, let me tell you, there is no, I know for a fact that there is no big reduction. Now, there may be some improvements possible. Always is possible. I have no issue on that. Okay. Also, let me tell you that from 54, I'll tell you another thing. Institute employee, this is a reality in government service. Any shift job, library, doctors and nurses, and security. In the government service, for one post, I need 6 people. 6 people. 3 shifts, 7 by 5. 7 by 5 is because two holidays you have to give, then leave. Okay, it becomes 6 people. With 54 permanent security staff, I can have only 9 people at any given time. This is the reality. Okay, the reality is any private security anywhere in the country, anywhere else, it's not more than 1:4 for a 3 shift. Okay, because the way they manage it is, when you take leave, when somebody takes leave, others work overtime. Okay, this is the way they manage it, like it or not. Okay, and it's only 6 days a week. It's not 5 days a week. And leave is only 20 days a month or 30 days a month. So the fact of the matter is, brown security will come down. Finally, we'll have only one CSO, 2 security officers. That's it. Okay? The other one, I can discuss with you.
The second thing is the grievance mechanism which we are telling about. We need a traceable grievance mechanism which is issued under the institute name with some traceable number so that it's a legal document for us also. Each time when we give it orally, it just goes into prayer. Just gets
1 minute.
time as well.
See, if your grievance is against, if your grievance is against an individual for a criminal offence, you will get that. If your grievance is against a volunteer for doing something wrong, it can be a letter, it can't be a legal document. I mean, if you want me to set up a mechanism by which you can proceed legally against my wardens, every warden will not, nobody will take it up.
I didn't mean it against wardens, sir.
No, anybody against me. I mean, for a criminal offence, you can have a traceable document. For a mistake, you can have only letters. You can have letters, no?
What about unaddressed issues, sir? The case is before this warden and this director came in, our issue was that we can go and address a problem maximum of general security. General security has to take it to the PL level.
No, who said that?
That was the thing. I can go back to the mails and
Look, all of us, I've been a student, we've all gone directly to the director or even to the HOD or to faculty member or to warden, we've all done that.
I can give you the mail which has come to me
From whom?
it was from the previous dean students, I believe. I can give you that mail.
Okay, let's say there's an individual X or Y who wrote something. If you don't like it, you have to go to his superior. Once, as I told you, once you get a mail from me, it becomes a little more difficult. But up to director, you can go. That's the only redressal mechanism I can offer you. I can't offer you anything else.
Ultimately, our problem is not addressed. Instead of that, why can't we give an action in written form?
What? Give what?
Our complaints in a written form.
You can write a complaint in written form.
A standard format which is traceable, whether there's some number and date.
No, let's say I issue that. Let's say I agree with you, I issue a format in which there's a 735 number, you issue it. What is going to happen? If I choose not to respond, what do you...
You won't have to tell that whether you can believe a student or not.
No, I didn't say that. I just said any issue, if somebody complains against Y, you have to hear Y also. No. That's all I said. Here I'm only listening to it. That's all I said. I didn't say that it's necessarily wrong. I just said that I'm not going into the merits of the complaint, but anybody who is going into the merits of the complaints in a redressal mechanism has to listen to both and even to a third, somebody else who has seen what is that, isn't it? I mean, wouldn't you do that? If somebody came to you as among friends to redress dispute, what will you do? I don't know, what is your problem? I'm just saying that giving a number, finally, if the warden, if the secretary of the hostel, the warden, the CCW chairman, if the dean and the director decide not to respond, you can't do anything. We can think of a number. I'm not seeing how it solves any major problem, which is not solved already.
Someone neglects it at that level, it becomes a legal document.
No. Sorry. There is no legal document. You can go anywhere now, 10 rupees RTA, you can get everything. Okay? You can get every scrap of paper I write in my office. No problem. But there is no legal document. I mean, there's only legal issue comes only on criminal offence. There's no legal issue in this. If I do a bad job as a warden or as a faculty member, there's no legal issue. At most you can remove the person from that job and say you go back to being a faculty member. There's no legal. What is the legality in this? If I don't listen to your complaint, what is illegal about it? I'm just being sloppy. That's all. Yeah.
Okay, let's do something. Since
We'll have
5 minutes more.
Yeah, we'll have 5 minutes.
1 minute, 5
There
minutes.
was the issue about the media which we have not.
Let's discuss the media.
There's a lot of communication gap and.
Okay, she's been raising her hand for a long time and let's listen to her. Yeah. Please. You've been standing, please sit. No, give her a chance. No, be chivalrous. First give her a chance and I'll give you a chance.
No, it's okay, he can go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
So two doubts. One is whether one is a doubt, other is a suggestion. Is the CCW under the RTA Act?
Everything's under RTA.
When we asked the team that start, when the
It's under Bhaskar Ramati RTA Act. Right? Ask me, I'll tell you. Now, even if it's legally not under the RTA Act, it's possibly not because CCW is not possibly under the RTA Act legally. But I have no problem. I'll expose everything. We don't do anything in secrecy here. Don't worry.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
I mean, unless there's a matter involving, as you said, something which is better kept, like involves privacy of the individual or safety of the individual or embarrassment of the individual. Out of concern, we don't want to reveal it.
Nothing, sir. 2 years ago, I petitioned I wrote an RTA application and I went to the deputy registrar. I was asked to meet the deputy registrar and he said that the CCW doesn't come under the RTA.
It's possible.
And the documents that I requested to get were not anything personal.
No, it's possible that, see, we have an information officer who's already inundated with 40 RTI applications per day. It's possible that he doesn't want to take on CCW because he's not supposed to take it on. It's possible. CCW is a society in which the institute is running. It's not part of the IIT structure. It's a society in which I am the chairman or something, must be some director. Okay. But we can set up our own transparent RTA Act, don't worry, whatever you want to come to us, we'll do. But if you ask me something which I decide is better kept secret and safe, I can tell you it's because it will in the student's interest, then I won't tell you. Okay, but otherwise anything.
What is the contract signed by the mess contractors and the...
Oh, we'll give it to you, no problem. Absolutely. Mess contract and all, we do it all through. Why, even though CCW is strictly speaking supposedly not a part of the IIT, why do we follow tender system? Because we are dealing with large amounts of money here and tomorrow, these are all things we have assumed ourselves. We don't know what a court will say if we go and CCW. They'll say, no, you should follow all government rules.
So tomorrow I can send a letter to the...
No, our information officer won't get it. You send it to him. No problem. Yeah. Sorry, now I think you should ask. Oh, you are here. Yeah. I don't know, how did he speak when he gave you a chance? Okay.
Sir, and the second, it's a request or a suggestion. Please, when you are bringing about rules, please at least take our worries into consideration.
Yeah, we are not taking, not about a rule at all. In fact, the meeting was convened to take not your worries to your views.
Yes, sir. For example, a policy is issued. The concern of the concerned warden is to have a clean room or clean things. Shouldn't he ask us before
He should. I am telling you the general principles are, general principles are very clear. Nobody should